So let's talk about getting the best selling price. Why is that important? What is the selling price all about? Is it really that critical? Or do we just put on the market and move on? Nadi, tell me a little bit about selling price. What does selling price mean to you?
Selling price means profit for me, and I work myself back from that to what I purchase and how much I spend on the reno. I decide that very early in on the project, and I kind of aim towards that. So it's quite important, but you add a bit of leeway into that.
What do you mean by leeway?
I don't hang out for the last dollar. So if it's within 10, 20K of my expected price, I normally like to take that.
So why is it? I mean, there are people out there who would go, no, we're selling it for us. If it's our profit, it means everything to us. We've got to hang it. Why do you allow flexibility in the selling price to move on? What's the win for you in that?
Once you hit the market, you're hot for about 3 weeks. After that, your listing becomes stale. Not many people are interested in it. Plus, it costs you in interest and a lot of energy kind of looking after the property, keeping it nice and neat and tidy, which means you can't move on to your next deal. So once it's in the market, I like to get it sold within the first 3 weeks and then move on.
Mm. Now, you spend a lot of time thinking about the selling price. I mean, your whole business and experience is centered on getting the best price. Do you encourage people to hang out for the biggest dollar?
That's normally then at the real estate agent's point. So we wouldn't normally engage with our clients once we've styled. That's, I guess, in the hands of the real estate agent. They would definitely not recommend holding on for the last dollar because, like Nadi said, they're paying interest, they've got that buyer there and they're pretty close to their selling price, but they're holding out, and then what happens, another property pops up on the market and then they suddenly become interested in that, and then there's no further interest in this property and they've just destroyed their campaign. So
what are some of the insipid costs you find, the subtle ones, the ones that really hurt, if you do hang on or you're stuck with it for a bit?
I guess a lot of the time it'll be the mortgage cost, which is the biggest expense. But then you have to think about staging because you normally get there for 6 weeks. So if you go past that, then there's weekly costs.
There's a big decision then.
Yeah, so like
do I keep staging it or do I not?
Do I get rid of it? Then do I have to bring it back in? Then do you have to do photos again? So that could be in tens of thousands. And when you said about the days on the market, I just remembered my last property. After the first week, it didn't sell, so I was crying to Brendan, oh, it hasn't sold, there's nobody buying it. And he looked at days on the market, he's like, it's 45 days, what are you worried about? I was like, oh, okay. It's not the Adelaide metro market, this was regional. So then you could calm down a little bit and, strategize, yeah.
All right, so how do you get the best bang for your buck? Now, you're into styling. What do you focus on that you think gives the greatest capacity to appeal to the target market?
Well, you've got to create that wow as soon as people walk in. Doesn't matter what kind of property it is. If it's a one-bedroom flat, a magnificent home or something in between, we will always look at the space. How can we best present this property with this space? It could be a tiny property. We actually did one yesterday where I actually walked in and thought, where am I going to put the couch and dining table? This is tiny, 3-bedroom home. You need to show that you can fit a family in here. When we were finished, the place actually looked big. You can fit your family on this 3-seater couch. You can sit at this 6-seater dining table. So it definitely does pay to do it, especially with floor plans that are a little bit tricky.
Yes.
So go on.
No, I'm just going to say, yeah, staging is absolutely one of the most bang for the buck, I guess, if the topic of the episode is today, about bringing out the emotions from people. Right, just like Susie said, I had a townhouse that I had for sale, and it was brand new, but it was quite small in terms of space. It's 3 levels, but the living room was a little bit small, and we got a furniture staging done on it, and we couldn't sell it still. It was one of those where we probably dragged on a little bit and wanted to achieve optimum price for it. And then what happened after that was that we had heaps of renters come to us and go like, well, we really like this place. And then they were paying top dollars for it. And so now that property, we didn't end up selling, and we still have it in my portfolio. That was the difference maker. It's like the furnitures that were in there really felt like a hotel.
Makes
the emotions came out, yeah.
Makes a difference.
That's right.
Well, now let's challenge things a little bit, yeah? Do you recommend a DIY staging thing, or do you recommend get a professional stager in? Now, I've got a clue about what your answer will be. Where are you at?
A friend told me, renovate like you have no money. So I don't have much nice furniture, but I go strip my mom's house of everything, her paintings, her vases, her furniture. I think even one time we went without a couch for 3 months while I just grabbed our home couch and put it in a staging thing. But now I would, like every day of the week, I would pay somebody to come and do it because I don't have the energy to pack a truck and hire people to unpack it and then, yeah.
So, Francis, we're going to go to you next because, again, I think I know your answer.
And it's good because like just right at this moment, there is a particular project that I'm trying to stall, and then I'm engaging Susie to
Oh,
help
are
with
you?
the
Brilliant.
services. But once again, it depends, right? For example, this one is actually going to be an Airbnb short-term accommodation, and it can fit 20 people in,
Wow.
in this house. But then there was like, after reviewing it, we go like, well, maybe I can get the furniture first, but then engage someone like Susie to come and consult and be there and just like, do the final touches.
So, Susie, you offer multiple services, and this is not designed to be a sales pitch for you, but you offer multiple services. So, have you seen many people fail on the DIY model?
Yeah, we often get called in because the agent has told their client, you need to get this styled. Oh, I can do that myself. And they attempt to do that themselves. But what happens is they're trying to do it cheaply at the cheap retailers. Won't name them. So everyone know.
I was going to name them. Not too many in one room.
Then the agent comes in and they're like, what have you done? You've just made this look cheap. You should have just kept your old stuff. So then the agent will call us and say, can you please come and finish this off? So we'll have to unfortunately say, look, that couch that you bought, that's going to need to go, or let's freshen it up and make it look better with some really good quality cushions. So let's just spend a little bit more and get the look right. You want it to look stylish. Not always elegant because that's not right for all the places,
Yeah,
but
good.
and that's what we need to do. We need to assess each place. What does this place need? Each place needs something different. When we quote jobs, they're all quoted differently and uniquely to what the property actually needs. And you want it to be magazine ready.
The selling process can be quite stressful. If you're holding on to the property for a long period of time, the levels of anxieties of vendors go up. And then there's a keenness to want to sell and move it on. You don't want to be in that position. What you want to do is to set the house up brilliantly so that you've got the maximum level of emotional engagement from your target market. If you do, it will sell quickly. If you do, you get the capacity to move on and move on into the next project to continue to make money through renovations and property projects. Up next, we're going to get real with Nardi.